We're continuing our coverage tonight of the showdown over congressional redistricting. Texas state Democrats left the state late yesterday in a bid to block Republicans' proposed congressional maps. One of those Democrats is Austin area Representative Gina Hinojosa. Representative, thank you for joining us tonight.
It's my pleasure.
You know, Democrats said this was never off the table, so walk us through the decision to break quorum and why you decided to fly out and leave the state.
It became a obvious decision when we had so many people show up at the Capitol and all across Texas to oppose the maps that were issued by the Republican majority in Texas. So we already knew there was a problem when redistricting was added to this 30-day special session, because the reason stated for eliminating districts that currently exist under the maps was that they were majority Black and brown. And we also know Trump said his ultimate goal was to pick up 5 additional Republican members of Congress in these newly drawn maps. So that is un-American. It is wrong and it is shameful. And we knew we were going to have to fight with everything we had to oppose it.
You know, the governor, of course, is not happy with this, threatening House Democrats with removal from office. I don't know how that would happen, but he's making that threat for fleeing the state. Also, maybe fining representatives $500 a day. What's your response to the governor?
I'm less interested in the governor than I am in my constituents. My constituents expect me to do everything in my power to defend their rights, to defend their voice, to weigh in on elections, to be able to hold members of Congress accountable for the policies they have passed. We know that tariffs are creating higher prices at the grocery store. We know that millions of Texans and Americans are losing health insurance under policies passed by the Republican Congress. We know that our schools are going without. I could go on and on. Our constituents have a right to hold politicians accountable for the harm they are caused. That is what is foundational to who we are as Americans, and it's what keeps us all free and safe.
What do you see the end game here? How does this play out? What's next?
So this question is a desire that everybody has to know, how does this end? Unfortunately, there is no way to know what tomorrow will bring. We know we can fight to win today, and each day we take it day by day. It's very situational. We assess what is happening on the ground and determine what is our most effective method to win. When we broke quorum back in 21, we didn't know how it would end. We just knew that we had to do what we could to win on that day, because what Republicans were doing was wrong, or what they were trying to do was wrong. In the end, we brought such national attention on them that they were shamed into removing the most egregious parts of their bill. They gutted their own bill. So we could never have predicted that when we broke quorum then. Similarly, we've learned the lesson for today, that we take it day by day and see what happens and how we need to respond next.
You know, you're battling in this redistricting fight by breaking quorum, but it's going to be framed and spun so many different ways. What would you say to your constituents who might say you're leaving before important issues can be discussed, like flooding, even though flooding was even pushed back in this special session?
Right. Well, you said it, right? Flooding was never the priority of this special session. We've only had 2 hearings on flooding in this whole special session. We've had 7 or 8 on redistricting to pass Trump's maps. So no, the Republican leadership was never serious about that. Plus, the biggest problem we have when it comes to this flooding is the leadership that's in place. We know our governor, for instance, could move already money from one agency to the flood victims, right? Just like he did in 21 when he moved money from another agency to, on his own, begin building parts of a border wall. We didn't think that was appropriate then, but certainly for flood relief, this is an emergency situation and he should use his emergency powers. He has not done that.
Anything I didn't ask or you think is important to say, what would you say to the people of Austin?
I think bottom line is We will not play Abbott's game, Texas Republicans' game, to hold our constituents and their voting power hostage to pass flood relief that the governor could already pass. So that is not a political game we are willing to play. We will fight for our constituents and their voices, and we expect our governor to also do what is right and in the best interest of Texans.
Representative Hinojosa, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.